have unleashed the unthinkable, and hell is upon the earth. In the post-apocalyptic world we now live in, it is not what it used to be. Today there's so much pain, heartache, and suffering. Let me tell you a story. It all began in the future, in the year 2041. There's this one man who is now called the Renegade. He is sitting back, thinking about all the signs that led up to this, taking events that has already happened, and reading about past posts that was dropped on a little unknown Facebook page. That page was instrumental in who he had become. He wishes he could have made many decisions that could have altered the timeline, and it could have saved many innocent lives that were lost so long ago. If only the world would have listened, our future might not have turned out like this. So say a prayer that we correct the timeline before it is too late. Welcome everybody. I'm the Renegade, or as I sign on the Facebook post as R, and that's for the Renegade. I want to welcome all of our new viewers that we've had sub to us here recently. If you're not following us on Facebook, please do. Please, it's TRN 24/7. It's real simple to find. But tonight, let me see what we're going to cover tonight. But before I do that, let me run into some my little man jumping around. You know how that goes. Like I said, this is live. We're on every major platform, folks. We're on YouTube, of course, here, Facebook, Instagram. When I broadcast, I can broadcast to like 30 different platforms at one time. So sometimes if I am pushing it out, I might be talking to you on YouTube. I might be also talking to you on Twitch or whatever. I don't know. So this goes to just wherever anybody, but please find us. We're on major, just search for the Renegade Network. Okay. Now, tonight's show, I'm going to cover, let me find out where my little, hold just a second. Wow. Show subject. My stuff got moved around. You have to please forgive me. Like I said, we're going to be covering post December 8th through the 14th on our Facebook page. If you're not following us, you don't have to go and try to follow us directly from the post, because I will throw it up here so that you're able to see. And sometimes you wonder why I post things that I do and the way that I post them. But let me go ahead and run this real quick on tonight's show. And basically that's what it's going to be about, is the post from the 8th through the 14th, or current, that I just dropped. Like I said, but before I get started, all you Q followers in the Looking Glass post, I know a lot of you are confused. And how could someone, but first, let me ask you this. Do you think there's people out there that has a special ability to look at multiple timelines and to evaluate the most probable outcome? Yes, that's what Q is doing. That's what the Project Looking Glass is. Also, basically, that's what I do. How do you think I know some of the stuff that's coming up before it happens? Is I look at all probable timelines. And I'm telling you this because a lot of the Q followers out there, they are getting disgruntled. He's losing them. They're following behind. They're not, because a lot of stuff depends on a lot of different algorithms. If you're looking at an action, there's multiple actions a person can take. Let's take Operation Crossfire that I did once before. how I could influence someone's action. I needed the guy down on the border, so I nudged the Patriots, James Payton and Monica and all them. I had them nudge him without them realizing it and without him realizing it. I made him go where I needed him to go to put him in a place where I needed to put him in. And basically that's what Q and several others are trying to do, is trying to manipulate the timeline. You're going to say, there's no way. It's not possible. Yes, folks, I'm telling you, it is possible. Where's Larry Hopkins, a.k.a. Johnny Horton? He's in jail, where I put him at, where he needs to be, because he's going to get people killed. Again, we are... I just want to bring you what's going on, what's latest, and sometimes I do post to the page. Let's go ahead and, as my little buddy would say, all right, let's get started, okay? So let's get started. On the first post, if you followed, like I said, on the Facebook page, it was December 8th at 1809, and from within our Discord chat, what did I say December 6th? Okay, this was posted on December 8th, folks. I said on December 6th. Now, what news is being dropped? Coincidence? I think not. Let's just look at what I posted in the Discord chat. And like I said, I dropped the link, and you are able to join the Discord at any time you want to. And it says, I'm sorry, but I was really busy. Something major was just thwarted. You should be hearing about it on the news. I'm not sure when they release it. Look at the date, December 6th. Okay, December 8th was, this right here was dropped. Again, California man arrested after rehearsing mass shooting plot on video, police say. See, that was thwarted, okay, because he was practicing like the Las Vegas style attack, but he was also renting motel rooms where it had corner views and everything else, so he could get the best shot. People, we don't need mass casualties. We don't need. There's too much breaking and heartache going on in the world, and evil people out there. And I am here to tell you, we're trying to stop it. Q's trying to stop it before it happens. Think Minority Report, the movie. If anything, just think that. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and move on, because I got a lot to cover. The next show was the next drop was December 9th at 01:21. That's for non-military people. That's 1 in the morning, 1:21 in the morning. I will fill you in. And here's what the post said. This is why I feel that it will fill you in. It says, let me make this a little bit bigger so my old butt can read it. It says, basically what they want you to do is flood the stories, requests for story ideas about Q. And I said don't do it, and I'll explain. Here's the thing. If you flood it, and Q is outed anyway, yes, which he's good at hiding his identity, the same that I'm able to hide mine, and it's for protection of me and my family, and some of the stuff that we do cover. Some of it's national security. We got to be real careful at what we do, what we say. So don't flood it. Don't do it, because there's already enough attention drawn to Q. It's millions and millions of followers, so they already know who it is. If you was to flood it, and it already, things don't happen the way he runs the algorithms, it makes him look real bad. Sometimes I don't come completely 100% on mine. I think what was my last one was 76.8% or 78 whatever percent for Hillary Clinton. She's going to run again in the election. That's the projection that all the algorithms. It's just a lot of different stuff comes into play. So right now she hasn't jumped in, but I'm still. There's a 72.6 or something percent. I don't remember the exact number. I have it down. I covered it on a couple of videos before. Let's go ahead and move on. Just don't flood it, please. And in here, we was already talking about Q. It says many Q followers are sure disappointed with the FISA report. I told you it was not going to be the report you was expecting and built up by Q. See, trust Barr and trust Sessions and all them. I will go through it. The Spygate. where they weaponized the FBI, the Department of Justice. It went to the highest level. Went to Hussein, the president. He knew what was going on. They took out a false FISA report, lied to the judges, and everything else just to get wiretapping on their political opponent. Now they're trying to impeach him because he refused to put aid out. Because there's so much corruption, so he said, can you do us a favor? Not can you do me a favor, us, the United States. Because the corruption in Ukraine is so strong, he wants to make sure that even Biden he's not being corrupted. I mean, this is no difference. So let's move on. This one. This next post I dropped, you see it. It says, listen, I'm a pretty decent person. So if I'm being an asshole to you, you need to think and ask yourself why. Okay, you want to know why I hit certain people? You want to know why I come after them so hard? It's because you have crossed that moral and honorable line. Remember that. I believe honor, dignity, and integrity. Foremost, you got to have that in a person. If your word ain't no good, if you gonna say something, you better do it, because a man's word is no good. They're gonna not take him for granted from that point on. So yes, I will hit you and hit you hard, and now I want you to know why I'm pretty mean. Let's go to 8. Thank God. Remember this page. All right, this post was December 9th at 16:13. That's 4:13 for, like I said, the United Military People. Let me go ahead and open that on up so you can see what I was talking about. Thank God for what? There we go. There it is. Remember, this page is no game. You don't respond in life. Okay. One chance to do the right thing. Due to national security, I can't reveal too much. Let's continue on. There was just another big plot to hurt Americans stopped in its tracks. Thwarted again. Many cells have been activated, so watch your 6. All right? That's all I'm going to say is watch your 6. There's a lot of stuff going on. You should be hearing about this next plot that was thwarted, because right now they're trying to build a case. And I will come back to this later on in the show. So, the next post was December 9th at 16:43. At 4:43. It says, trust Horowitz, trust Sessions. And I laughed and that carry on. Because Q, he did say trust Sessions. He said trust Horowitz. And the report, man, the FISA report, like I said, goes back to the Spygate. A lot of people were disappointed. Yes, there were some good nuggets in it, like on page 435 or 495 or whatever. There was a couple of good little ones, but overall, it's the same old, same old. No one's getting arrested. No one's being brought up on charges, and a lot of people are getting disappointed. Now, this story, December 9th at 16:56, at 4:56, you see it says, what went poof? News. All right, let me go ahead and open that on up. You see the submarine there? Let's go ahead and open that on up. It says, what went poof? News made a story disappear. Let's think back to the Pearl Harbor shooting. What or why would he shoot 2 Department of Defense contractors? Let me move it on up. Were they doing something to the Los Angeles class sub? What and how many weapons can it carry? Let's just think the USS Russell. Think Hawaii, false ballistic warning, 38 minutes. Don't you think they will use it on U.S. soil? Think again. Now, why would they? More to the story. It's time for you to dig. Now, I'm trying to give you some clues here. It's up to you to put it together. I can't tell you a whole lot because the Columbia is a national security sub. It's got it could do a lot, and this story just kind of went poof. It disappeared out of the media. It disappeared out of a lot of stuff because a lot of chatter disappeared. Why would they do that? Unless there's something they don't want you to see or know about. That's all I can say right now. Is as national security, you need a dig. I can point you in the right direction. It's up to you to put all the clues together and find out and ask yourself why. All right. Next one, December 10th at 12:18. Active shooter situation in Jersey City. Cop possibly shot. Now, that one goes to the next post with the Easter egg. You're gonna like, but what has the Easter egg got to do with the active shooter? Here's what. Here it is. December 10th at 22:47. That's 10:47 at night. New Jersey shooting questions time. Why was the detective in the cemetery alone in the first place? Okay. Was it a targeted shooting? Did said detective mess up their plans before they were ready? What does the car that was stopped in Holland Tunnel have to do with them? Was the school next to the market intended target? Think past post where I said many cells are activated. Go back to that post where I said that some may slip through our fingers. Many are getting thwarted, but some, see, may slip through our fingers again. It's up to you to place all the clues together and find the answers you're seeking. I will drop an Easter egg here soon. Okay. Basically what we already know, yes, it was a targeted shooting. Yes, it was now that it's coming out. Now that the news has leaked so much stuff, yes, it is a terrorist plot. Yes, the detective did interrupt their plans, making them act up on it. And they were being investigated for a 187 already. So he went to go see what they were up to. Yes, they found pipe bombs in the vehicle. So again, I try to put out stuff before the news will put it out. But I just can't just come out and say some things because of, it's active active investigation or up to national security. Now this next post was interesting. Let me look down here. All right. It says, I said, well said, December 11th at 14:19 at 2:19. And this was from a Joseph Overfield. I have a lot of people on my friends list, and then of course I belong to a lot of groups, and this one was probably in one of the groups that I was looking through, and it caught my attention. And why did that one catch my attention versus a whole bunch of other ones? And here's a picture of a GPS. We all rely on GPS, right? Now this post, and he's putting in the GPS as God's precious spirit. Let me go ahead and read what he says for you. Just a second. He said, "Blessings, beloved. I am constantly traveling throughout the United States. I rely on my GPS to get me where I need to go. One day, it broke and I needed to buy a new one. And it got me to thinking about the way the Lord directs us by His Spirit. GPS, God's precious Spirit. As I look at the screen on my GPS, I think about the Bible. Within the 66 books, you will find your identity, your purpose, and your destiny. The Bible is full of wisdom and instructions. If you're struggling in any area of your life, your answer is in the Bible. You can read about the fulfillingness of the loving God and the ultimate sacrifice that Jesus Christ made for us. You will also find there are many points of interest in the Bible. The Word of God is the best possible map for our lives. Almost all GPS receivers offer audible directions. I have mine set to voice as a Samantha. When the weather is bad or I am driving in high traffic areas, I rely on Samantha to lead me correctly. Her voice keeps me on track through all the distractions. As important as Samantha's voice is to us when we drive, knowing and hearing the Spirit is absolutely vital to the Christian's walk. The Spirit is our internal GPS. The Spirit will always lead you in the right direction. As you read the Bible, the Spirit makes the words come alive. The Spirit also reveals deep revelations of God's Word to you. John 6:63. It is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh is no help at all. The words I have spoken to you are spirit and life. You can use the GPS by just looking at the screen or hearing the voice and still get to your destination. Beloved, remember, when you read the Bible, without reading the Spirit, the words still resonate truth, but without revelations. It will not lead you to transformation. When the Spirit teaches you, it is an eternal lesson. It is essential to you to let the Spirit guide you through the Bible and your life. As you minister, allow the Spirit to always take precedence. It is the Spirit that draws all men to God. John 6:44. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. The only way to guarantee we will never get lost on this journey God has for us is utilize His GPS, His God's precious spirits. Wherever we go, have a blessed day. Seek Him and others. That was John, I think his name was. Joe. It was Joe. Joe, yes. Joseph Overfield did a real good job on that. So, again, I just wanted to read that to you and let you understand why I would post that. Again, that meant a lot to me when I read it, because here I am out here trying to tell you things sometimes before they happen, or try to give you clues as to what's going on. But you still got to rely on that old Bible. Got to. The next post that I dropped is when you lose something and somebody says, where you lose it at? Yeah, Little John, he's not too happy there. And I get the same way. I get so frustrated when somebody says, what'd you lose it at? And I'm looking all around. I said, I might have had it right here, but I don't remember. So if you're the type of person that I am, that when you're really looking for something that you've lost, again, this could go back to the Word of God. You can get strayed from the path. You can lose your ways, but you got to figure out where you lost it at, and not lose your temper, and get back on that path. 25. 'Tis the season, folks. The elf on the shelf is being bad again. Now it's around Christmas time. You need some lemonade? Go take you some lemonade. I just thought it was funny, so I posted that. And I can't be serious all the time. All right, I can't be. There's just sometimes that we got to take things for the way they are. And I'm sorry I got distracted. I was looking at an incoming message. The next post was on December 11th at 1921 at 7:21. It says, do you know China's plan to fight a nuclear war against America? How they're going to nuke U.S. cities. The next show, see, I would discuss this very topic. So let me go ahead and get started on this. Let me go ahead and tell you one. It says, here's China's plan to fight a nuclear war against America, the nuke U.S. cities. One who reads enough Chinese novel literature, diagrams of multi-angle axle cruise missiles, saturation attacks against aircraft carrier groups, may begin to seem normal. However, one particular graphic from an October 2015 issue of the Naval and Merchant Ships stands out as both unusual and slightly disturbing. It purports the map of impact of a Chinese intercontinental ballistic missile strike by 20 nuclear armed rockets against the United States. Go ahead and run this slideshow for you. There we go. This way you can see what I'm talking about. It says, targets include the biggest city on the east and west coast, as well as in the Midwest. As one would expect, giant radiation plumes cover most of the country, and estimate in the caption holds that the strike would yield perhaps 50 million people killed. Okay, it's on the same page. There's a map that the optimal aim point for hit on New York City with a blast wave that vaporizes all of Manhattan and well beyond. That makes the North Korean threat look fairly insignificant by comparison, doesn't it? But what's really disturbing is that the scenario described above envisions a strike by China's largely antiquated D5 first generation. You should see on your screen where I'm running some of these different mobile launchers and some of this other stuff so you get to understand it. All right. In other words, the illustration perhaps it's a decade more or out of date. Okay, China has developed the first road mobile DF-31 and then the DF-31A, and now the JL-2, the submarine launched weapon. I'm not going to go through all these numbers because I don't want to lose you. All right, but basically what it does is it's completely retaliation. All right, the intended the actual theme of the article featuring these graphics concerns the recent reports regarding testing of the DF 41 mobile ICBM, and the author of the article, who is careful to note that his views do not represent those of the publication. The Chinese defense military spokesperson was queried about the test on August 6th. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because I don't want to bore you. But if you was to take every nuclear missile that Russia, China, U.S., Pakistan, uh, Israel, all the nuclear countries, and launch them all at one time, it, it, it would be uninhabited. All right. Let's go back. Let's continue on. Like I said, I was not going to run and read all that boring stuff for you. Now, the next post was 11:30, 11:11. I'm sorry, and here's what it said. Oh boy, they're setting themselves up big time. Go on. Now, let me go ahead and open it up because what are they trying to set themselves up for? It says the militias march on Capitol Monday, January 2020 at 8 a.m. to 1300. That's 8 to 1 o'clock. Now, let me go ahead and open that up so you'll get to see what I'm talking about. This says, oh boy, they're setting themselves up big time. Go on, attend this way. This way you can attend, and they could tag you and later for later bagging. All right. Basically, what that boils down to is they gonna mark you, and if you screw up, they gonna bag you later on down the road. What will they be? What the militias and the people there, what they will be unaware is they will be at least 5 agents to one militia member out in the crowd. Sure, there needs to be something done about the new law being passed, but we all know marching and shit will never work. You know that. I know that. Now, what other options are left? I'm not in no way saying take up arms as violence. Sometimes that don't work, and it will cause a bigger problem for you and the movement. Remember that. There's other options that you can take. Let me continue to read what I put down. Look at all options available. Search for loopholes. Sometimes you need to fight the law with the law. Use their own shit against them. You need to be looking into that. I'm telling you. I'm trying to give you a hint here. So, now this next post was there was a time when Sundays revolved around church and Sunday dinner, sometimes on the church ground even. I don't know if you remember, but I know I remember eating Sunday's dinner at my great grandmother's. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there was a time, like I said. Do you still have family Sunday dinner? I'm not talking about going out and eating at Brian's or Golden Corral or wherever. I'm just saying, do you go to your family's house and have several of your family over and still eat? No, a lot of people don't. And that's because a lot of family values are being lost. Okay, you need to put down your phone for a few hours a week and spend time with your family. If we all start doing this, you will see a positive change in America. I'm telling you. get right, come together as a family. Family's precious. Spend as much time as you can with them. And if you were more active roles in the family, you wouldn't see all this stuff that's going on. I remember growing up in school, we didn't have these mass shootings. We didn't. It's because they got their ass tore up when they were little kids. All right, I know I got my ass tore up, and because these family structures are being broken, single parent mothers, single parent fathers. That are out there trying to raise these kids. It's hard on people, okay? It really is. And the family structure is being lost. When you start losing that family structure, you start straying away from the Bible. I don't care how hard you can say you go to church, but if you don't have that strong structure in the house to begin with, you're already losing something to start with. And that's all I'm going to say is we need to come together. We need to start praying more. Let's go ahead. 35. What is 35? What I'm doing here is when I say 35, I'm looking at my slides here to kind of pull it up. Okay, that was please share our YouTube channel. It's time to grow. We're really ready to go. Never be afraid to join us on the air anytime. Let me go ahead and drop that link live again. Oh, let me go ahead and drop this live so that you can join me, because I'm about ready to open up the lines, and if nobody joins me, that's fine. There you go. That's the link. That's the link to join me live into the Discord chat. Please don't be shy. We're nothing but family here. Let me continue to move on. The next one, as you see, there's the link that I just dropped. Let me move this on down just a second. I'm saying I don't like that. Let me see. Boy, just give me a second. There we go. Let me unlock this. There we go. Alright, basically this next post was the Discord link for our room. So you can join me. I just dropped it live. 38. Bad weather. Let me check, see what's going on here. Just a second. Like I said, I just got blinged in, and I have to, let me see what's going on. We haven't. Assume. Okay, basically, somebody's looking for something, and I'm trying to figure out, trying to help them out. Now, if you will see what you got up on the screen here, you should see Alabama. Now, I wanted to give your attention for Alabama, Mississippi, because there will be a threat of severe thunderstorms across much of the state this coming Monday. At this time, the threat of severe thunderstorms could be begin in the early afternoon and last through midnight early Tuesday morning. All models of severe weather, isolated tornadoes, damaging wind, gusts to 60, large hail up to 1 inch diameter are possible. At this time, we can't hash out the exact timing, locations, potentially impacted, the exact magnitude of the event. However, it appears that west, central, north central portions of Alabama and Mississippi could be in the greatest threat area for severe thunderstorms. Model data has been consistent, depicting a favorable environment for rotating thunderstorms, like this model shown that I'm showing on the screen here. It's very robust, significant tornado parameters values across central Alabama late Monday evening and Mississippi. There is another model data regarding other dynamics and thermodynamics suggesting the contrary. The only isolated severe storms could be possible, therefore not likely causing. I mean, so if you're in the summary, there will be some threats. So be careful. I don't know if you're like me. I keep an eye on everything. I watch as much stuff as I do with the weather. I watch stuff, the comets, the meteors coming in. I watch. I try to watch everything. You know, as a watchman that I am, I see. I try to see it all. That's why I got my pulse on the world with the leaders, trying to figure out what's going on, so I can come and warn you. You should know about the watchmen. You know, sitting high up on the wall. If they see a problem, they're gonna blow the trumpet and let everybody know. And that's my job here, is to be as a watchman to blow that trumpet and let you know, hey, be careful. And this brings me to the closing. Now, again, if you're just joining me, please join me. We could talk live. We could discuss all this. I'll go ahead and drop that on back down there. You should see in the live chat for our Discord. I'll help you set it up. It's no big deal. I don't mind. We're one big family. One big family. I have no problem with it. So this goes back to my closing. Again, you see a lot of stuff that I cover, and some of the reasons why I drop it. I give you clues. It's up to you to put all the clues together. It's up to you to find the answers. In that last post that I put down, I covered severe weather. You got a couple of days. Well, yeah, a couple of days to get your butt ready for these storms. I believe in prepping. I believe in protecting your family. I believe in having a heads up. And that's basically what I'm doing with this, with these storms. It goes back to prepping. So I want you to remember the 4 B's that I'm telling you about: your beans, your bullets, your bandages, and your Bible. Your beans are for your nourishment. Your bullets will probably defend yourself, you and yours, if it gets bad enough out there. The bandages, well, you know what they're for. They're to wrap you up and try to help stop any wounds from leaking or getting infected. And then it comes back to the Bible. Your Bible can be your nourishment. It could be your protection. It could also cover you, and it can guide you. Because in the event of a crisis, if you've ever lived through a crisis, which I have been through a couple of national disasters, you come to rely on that Bible. You come to rely on a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of prayer that will go into it. Because if it gets bad enough and you have to do the unspeakable things that you do not want to have to do, you're going to need to pray. You're going to need to be covered. You're going to need to have the ammunition in the word of the Lord, the sword. You need to have that breastplate of righteousness on. Of course, you know the Ephesians. That's all I'm going to say. Put a whole armor of God on. You're going to need it. And since we're not having nobody that's willing to join us, I'm going to go ahead and call the show. I want to thank everybody that's been here tonight, and all the new subscribers. All I'm going to do is I'm going to say, don't let no one lock you in a cage. Don't let your mind lock your own self in a cage. Fight. Get out of that cage. Break free of that anxiety, that depression, that everything else that's got you. So remember, they can't cage us. Let that click roll. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out, get me out, get me out here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal. No, you better back down or break through these walls. You better move like my name was Biggie Smalls. I'm like the god of Grease running around, holding it down, ready to smite your sound. I'm raging. I kill him every single time I'm off the leash. This dog bites even the hand that feeds. Beyond the streets, we get it on the beach, and then we
take you down to the Isle of Crete. Cause I celebrate and lift my hands and revelate the sacred land. Cause I wanna break free, it's in my human nature. I'm gonna fight it cause I'm naughty by nature. And it's not cause I hate you and I wanna debate you, but I wanna detain you, take you straight to Albania. Yeah, I'm gonna rage. You better watch it cause I'm breaking out this cage. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal.
Propped on the block where the pigs eat slop. Straight off the floor of the office at the top. Like they're walking a dog with the leash on. Like a reverend getting his preach on. Wrapped around my neck, it's like a high-tech way to sign a blank check. Waiting for a subject never ceases to amaze us. That all we left with is peanuts. Half of the time you defy, it's a sci-fi time when you fight for your right. So with all your might, we're breaking out of these chains because we're so out of here. No, nothing can hold us down. Stop locking us up and walking down the street and maybe smoking us bleak. It's just beyond belief, but the executive chiefs get away with the beef. It's time to stop repeating this broken motif.
Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us like an animal.